You know? So it's like, you gotta really, like, go after it and just, like, start doing it. That's, like, the most important thing. You just gotta go forward, go do it. And it's like,
It's facts.
once you get past that first step, dude. Like, for example, like, at the end of the day, it's just like discipline because it's not a comfortable thing to do, right? But, like, for example, it's like going to the gym,
Yeah.
right? It's obviously an uncomfortable thing, but, like, the biggest step is just walking out the door,
Yeah.
right? Once you walk outside the door of your house, you're already in the mindset of, all right, I'm going to the gym.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like very similar in that fact. Because, like, I think, like, yeah, you can make very basic first 50 YouTube videos, but if you're actively going at it and every day you're trying to think of, you know, for example, one creative YouTube idea,
Yeah.
then it becomes like, if you think of one a day, it becomes much easier to think of one a day if you do it every single day.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And then from there, you build up 2 videos.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And then you just, like, you know.
Yeah.
You just work on it, dude. And, like, you know, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I think you do get it. So, like.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man. Give it a shot. You got a mic? Do get, like, a little webcam like this. Dude, I think this
let's do it together.
Let's do it together. Sure.
Fun thing to do together.
Yeah, sure. You know, we can work out this. I mean, this will probably go on the Bucksy channel.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, I'll give you a little tag. YouTube has handles.
Well, I haven't even, like, started any type of channel. Yeah.
You know, we'll talk about your channel. We're actually.
Yeah. I was wondering.
Yeah, no, we're actually. Well, because I feel like sometimes.
I feel like it's a talk for another time.
Yeah, it's a talk for off the air. But, you know, sometimes I feel like sometimes the best conversation is, like, if you just hit record.
No, I get
talking.
I get
you know what I mean? So we decided.
This is the thing.
What?
Oh, I thought you were.
This is the thing? Or?
Yeah, I was just saying. This is the thing. We're gonna go into another movie series now.
We're gonna go into the Marvel series. This is gonna take us a while because there's a lot of movies.
A fuck ton of movies. Way too many movies, if you ask me. I'm not as much as a Marvel fan as I am a Harry Potter fan. But I do have some cool memories. I remember seeing fucking the first Avengers in theaters and just being like, this is like the pinnacle of movies. I thought watching Avengers in theaters was like the greatest thing. Do you remember? Did you see Avengers like in the theaters? Did you see
which one?
The first one, like the first Avengers.
I mean, it's so far from now, but like probably.
I think it came out in like 2012.
Yeah, I definitely probably saw it. Jesus Christ, my laptop. I gotta turn my laptop.
Yeah, maybe we can just start the like.
No, we'll just keep going from here. I'll just edit it.
All right. Yeah.
So Avengers. So I think the first bottom two. I think we talked about this earlier when we were off the air. But I think first two, dude.
Well, I'll read them all off.
Okay, so yeah. Read them all off because we gotta also explain that we're doing from Iron Man.
It's all in chronological order. So
it's
the first Marvel movie is Iron Man. Then to the last one, which we're just throwing in there, we're doing Far From Home or No Way Home.
Well, we're doing Far From Home is the last one, but then we're also throwing in No Way Home.
That's the recent Spider-Man. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I think it's gonna be fairly high for me. I thought that movie was pretty good.
I thought it was pretty good too, but I think we gotta start at the bottom.
Yeah,
I think we gotta. Honestly, I'm gonna throw the first two Thors for the bottom two.
Yes. I don't think neither of us have seen the first two Thors.
Oh no! I've seen the first two Thors.
Oh, okay.
I've seen the first.
I have not seen them. Like I literally just haven't seen them.
Yeah, and listen.
Do you know what happens? Explain it to
me. The first Thor is basically he has like this little battle with this guy from one of his worlds, and it's really not that good. The second one is there's some anomaly.
I know Natalie Portman is in it.
Yeah, she's pretty hot, but you know, yeah, there's not really much.
So that's Thor 1. Thor 2.
Thor 2, I mean, Natalie Portman's also in it. And, there's some like gravitational anomaly that they find. Thor comes back. Yada, yada, yada.
Okay.
It's really not.
So you would also place them in your bottom 2.
Yeah. I mean, Thor's mom dies in one of them.
Right. We knew that from Endgame.
Yeah. But, it's eh.
Okay. So on default, I will also put them bottom 2 because I haven't seen them. So we got, in chronological order, Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, Thor 1, Captain America 1, the first Avenger.
Yep.
Then we have
The first
Avengers,
the original
first
Avengers
one.
movie. Yep.
Iron Man 3.
Yep.
Thor 2, I think it's called The Dark World.
Yep.
Captain America Winter Soldier.
Yep. Which is
Guardians of the Galaxy.
great movie.
Avengers Age of Ultron. Ant-Man. Captain America Civil War. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Spider-Man Homecoming. Thor Ragnarok. Black Panther. Infinity War. Avengers Infinity War. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Captain Marvel. And Avengers Endgame. And Far From Home.
And then No Way
Home.
So,
alright.
For our first bottom 2, we're going to put Thor 1 and 2. So, Thor and Thor Dark World.
Alright. So, I'm going to have to create plenty of space. Alright. Alright. Thor 1 and 2 are on the bottom for both of us.
So we're going to do like a reverse list here?
So, yeah, that's just how I'm going to do it.
Alright.
Because I can't really judge how
how big it's
far down it's going to go.
What's after that?
I guess if we start in the beginning, let's just start with Iron Man. I thought the first
Iron
Iron Man...
Strange is in here, too.
Yes. I think you forgot Doctor Strange. So I'm going to have to include Doctor Strange.
Am I forgetting anything else? You know what I'm going to do?
I don't think so.
I should have done this. I'm going to go with the Disney Plus app.
It's fine.
Okay.
I think Doctor Strange we got.
I think that is
really the only one you missed.
So
I think let's just start. Alright. I thought Iron Man was a fairly good movie. I'm not ready to put it third on my list.
No, neither am I.
Alright. Iron Man 2. I don't remember what happened.
It's the guy with the he's like a genius and he creates an arc reactor and has like those like electric whips.
I think. Yeah, I don't remember what happens.
It's like an okay movie. I wouldn't say it's number 3.
Yeah.
Although, you know what I would?
You know what I'm going to put at number 3?
Okay.
I'm going to put fucking Captain Marvel at number 3. Because
really?
Captain Marvel fucking is a stupid character. And I don't like Brie Larson. That's it. No, I also like I barely even was able to get through it. I think I watched it on the plane, and it just makes a joke out of Nick Fury. It says apparently in canon in the movie, Nick Fury's eye is out. It is gone because a cat scratches it out, and it's just like what? And I think Brie Larson just gave a dumb performance. It was a movie that basically marketed like just Brie Larson as being like this ultra like feminist superhero. And a funny side note, apparently they bought a bunch of Captain Marvel tickets and were giving them out in like libraries to little girls and stuff to like go see Captain Marvel.
Okay.
And apparently they gave out like 40% more tickets than people actually like showed up to the movie theater.
Oh wow.
So like they bought all those tickets and it made a lot of money, but apparently they were like ghost seats because they bought them up and were like giving them out to little girls for like charity events. But they're like, no, thank you. Like, I don't know who Captain Marvel is. Like,
Well, dude, you want to hear something funny?
what?
I think it was Captain Marvel. I'm almost positive it was Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
The first time I went to go see that movie,
Uh-huh.
it was probably what, we were like freshmen, sophomore in college. No, it must have been freshman. We were
I
freshmen.
don't know when it came out.
I think
What,
we were freshmen.
Captain Marvel?
Yeah, Captain Marvel.
No. Captain Marvel came out a year before Endgame. And Endgame came out in 2019.
Let me look it up.
Captain Marvel came out in like 2018 or 2019. Just look up when Captain Marvel came out.
It released March 8th.
What year?
2019. So sophomore year.
Of college.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you said high school.
No, maybe it was Infinity War. Infinity War, I went to.
Infinity War was our junior year of high school?
Dude, what movie was it then?
Senior year of high school? Yeah, it was senior year of high school.
Alright, so whatever.
Infinity War.
So it must be Captain Marvel then. We had this, we used to have this event called Ricky's Rhymes for my fraternity, where we would just roll an obscene amount of blunts and freestyle. But me and a couple of my friends, we decided that we were gonna go see Captain Marvel. So we went to this event. And dude, I'm talking like, bro, I would pass a blunt, right?
Yeah.
And another blunt would come my way. And I would pass the blunt, another blunt. Pass. Dude, it was crazy. Like, we always had, like, it was probably, like, I don't know, 20 kids in the room. And we had, like, 4 blunts going out all the time.
Damn.
We just had someone just consistently rolling blunts. Right? So we did that. And then we went to go see Captain Marvel.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was zoinked.
Okay.
Bro. But for my third movie, I think.
So did you remember enjoying?
Yeah, honestly, I did enjoy it. I didn't think it was bad.
Okay.
I didn't think it was great.
Okay.
I didn't think it was great.
Okay.
I think it was bad. I think it was good. It was okay.
All right. Fair enough.
I'm gonna put Ant-Man and the Wasp as number 3.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. Okay. Good choice. That's gonna be somewhere close for me too. I could not tell you a single thing about Ant-Man and the Wasp. I just know it introduces a girl character. And Endgame takes place after it.
Yeah, well, it's actually very interesting because the end credits scene of Ant-Man and the Wasp is when the snap occurs in Infinity War.
Okay.
It's like basically like he's trying to get back from the quantum realm or whatever.
And yeah, no, I know. Like, yeah. It takes place right after. So it's obviously an important movie.
Yeah, but
I
like
just don't remember it at all.
Just like I think it has to do with the guy. He's like trying to create that weapon.
Yeah, no, I went in the movie theaters to see it. I remember with Michael and you, and I fell asleep. So it's one of those movies. I think I'll obviously put that right next to it.
Now for number 4 from me, dude, this is tough because I do really love.
5. This is 5 for you.
Oh, no, this is 4.
Okay.
Yeah, because the first one's my name.
Yep. All right.
So
I gotta do this. Damn it. All right. 4.
This is a tough one, man.
All right, so we have Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I think I might put Ant-Man as number 4. I just honestly, I think Ant-Man is a little bit too much of a comedy movie more than it is a superhero movie.
Okay.
That entire franchise. That's just my opinion. No, I love Paul Rudd. Don't get me wrong. I love Paul Rudd. I think he's a fucking awesome dude. But, Ant-Man, I don't think the writing's great. I think Paul Rudd kills the role, but
yeah, I think I have to agree with you. Ant-Man just seems like a film that is a meme, and it's just Paul Rudd.
Yeah, exactly. It's just kind
cool, but guy turns small. It's a little silly.
Yeah, I'm gonna put
where Ant-Man is gone. Okay. So
I'm gonna maybe put Iron Man 3.
Okay, yeah, that's a sound pick.
I'm gonna put Iron Man 3 at number 6, just because at this point I feel like the Iron Man thing was kind of getting overplayed. They were just kind of playing on him being like this narcissistic douchebag type of character who also believes in greater good.
Yeah.
I think it got a little overplayed by the end. There wasn't enough character development. So that's why I'm putting Iron Man 3 there. I love the first 2 Iron Man movies are pretty good, but
I think I have to agree, Nick. Iron Man 3, it's just not, it's still Iron Man, and you have fucking Robert Downey Jr. there, a character you love, who's an actual Avenger, and you're invested in.
And he kills that role.
He kills the role, obviously. You got Stanley who says, I would have envisioned you as Iron Man, or whatever, when he was doing the comics. So, it's just the lesser Iron Man of the Iron Man trilogy. So that will be number 6 for me and number 5 for you.
And I think honestly, at this point, I am gonna put Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
I'll just agree with you. Hey, listen, I love all these movies. They have a dear place in my heart because this is what I would play on repeat when I was going through it.
Mm-hmm.
So, they have a special place in my heart because I would just watch them chronologically through.
Right.
But Captain Marvel, good.
It just felt like a movie that had to exist because, at the end of Infinity War, they teased the Captain Marvel thing. Yeah. And it was like, oh, Captain Marvel's gonna be the guy who beats Thanos, and everyone just kind of assumed that.
Yeah.
And halfway through Endgame, she just says, I need to take off to go help other planets and stuff like that. It's
she could have been more useful.
It's the Avengers are literally the ones that are trying to beat Thanos. The guy, the main guy.
Yeah.
You could stick around with them, just sort of help them out.
Yeah. So update this list here. So we have Iron Man 3 crossed off.
Captain Marvel and Iron Man 3 are crossed off.
Okay. I think we got it updated.
Yeah.
Alright, so for next, dude, this is gonna be tough.
Yeah. Alright. I think I am just gonna have to go with Iron Man 2. I just, Iron Man is cool. I just don't remember Iron Man 2 just being like that. And I just remember all the Iron Man films just being kind of similar in a way.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to agree with you.
Tony Stark is a little too smart for his own good. His technology gets into the wrong hands. Blah, 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 blah.
I agree with you. Iron Man. I'm going to put Iron Man 2 too.
I'm
going to put Iron Man 2 too.
Fair enough. Iron Man 2 off the list.
So,
alright. Now, I'm gonna go with Captain America 1.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Captain America 1. It's a good story, a simplistic story. I think the CGI is a little bad at times in it. It's a simple story, but I think it's a good story that just kicks everything off. Really, all that needed to happen was for there to be some sort of explanation of how Steve Rogers becomes Captain America, and then for him to just be frozen in ice. And that's really it. I think really the real meat and potatoes of Captain America's character comes after he gets woken up after the ice.
Yeah, but I also think like the good thing about Captain America, like the first Avenger, is that it provides a good amount of nostalgia to that 1940s time.
Like, sure.
Like World War II. It really plays out like World War II.
I get it. I don't understand sometimes though, like the Nazis, like if they really had access to like the Tesseracts, like I just feel like they would have totally dominated the world. Like if Hydra had that type of technology, like that's really the thing. Like I just felt like if it was a little bit subtle, or maybe they were like in some big scavenger hunt for the Tesseract to find it, and if Captain America and the rest of the United States were like, if this got in the hand of the Third Reich, like it could be a disaster. But the thing is, it's like it's already gotten into their hands. And they've also been like reverse engineering the technology, and they have like big laser guns. Yeah. So it's like, how could you possibly stand a chance against them?
Right.
Like, I get it. Captain America has a big vibranium shield, but like, what? They have like literal spaceships.
Yeah. Do you know what we should do?
What?
We should do for maybe for our next podcast, maybe down the line.
What?
Right. We should watch all of the Marvel movies, right? Maybe like take like a week or something.
Sure.
Watch all the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
And then go back and re-rank.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I feel like I have a good grasp on what I have, but yeah, actually watching them will give.
Well, like when's the last time you watched them all in like order? You know what I mean?
Like not for a while, but you have to understand. I'd literally have to commit like all like 2 days.
Yeah.
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 Like 2
yeah.
days.
Whatever. Just an idea. For my whatever numbers is whatever. 2.
I believe it was 7.
7.
3, 6, 7.
And number 8. You know, this might be a hot take, and I love the Spider-Man series.
Oh,
but I think I'm gonna go Far From Home.
Okay, Far From Home.
I feel like it's like kind of like this weird midway segment through the first movie and the third movie, and you have Mysterion, who's like kind of this like fake villain in a sense, but you know he's kind of causing this fake havoc, and I think it really sets up the third movie well, and it's a really good segue from the first movie. But like as a standalone movie, it's just like. Like they're traveling through Europe, and it's like he's just like running into all these problems everywhere he goes.
I actually agree with that. And you know what? I know this is annoying for the list, but I have to change that.
Right?
I have to put No Way Home. And
I'm telling you,
I have to put Far From Home.
I'm telling you, man. I've watched a lot of movies. I feel like I got a good grasp on these things. You know, it's just like it's a great movie. Don't get me wrong; it's a good movie.
But like in a standalone, you're totally right. As a standalone movie,
it's just like it doesn't.
Not a lot happens.
Yeah, like it doesn't compare to the first movie. It doesn't compare to the third movie, right? And I feel like when you're comparing, because like ultimately, like all the movies are like kind of trilogies, and you gotta look at the whole arc of the character. And
it's weird because I think this is the first movie after Endgame. Which, in my opinion, Endgame is the end of an era for Marvel.
Yes,
in my opinion,
100%.
Marvel it might as well have ended with Endgame.
Yeah, like they haven't.
And then Spider-Man has his own timeline. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Spider-Man. Listen, the Spider-Man movies have done great. I thought Shang-Chi was awesome.
Shang-Chi was alright. In my
I think it
opinion, it
was
was just
pretty-
Asian Black Panther.
Yeah, which
Also,
you know,
we forgot to put Shang-Chi,
but that's whatever.
who cares about
But this might be a hot take, but I think after Far From Home,
what?
actually, I don't know, because the
Are
one
you gonna
I was,
say Doctor Strange?
no, I was going to actually say Black Panther
I was gonna put that Black Panther close.
because, dude,
Yeah.
although the one thing that I really love about Black Panther is Michael B. Jordan's performance as
Yeah,
Killmonger.
he's cool. He's cool.
Dude,
And the soundtrack is cool.
the soundtrack is amazing. He kills that role. And I mean, like, that motherfucker murdered that role. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I feel like it was a very simplistic thing.
it was simplistic.
I feel like Wakanda is like kind of a weird concept in a way. It's cool that it's like a hidden city and it has all this cool technology, but at the same time, like, I feel like vibranium is something that, like, if it's just if vibranium in the beginning of Black Panther, it says there's this meteor that crash landed in this part of Africa that had this special metal called vibranium. And for, I guess, for all of time, Wakanda has been ahead of the world in technology because of this metal. What I don't understand is, how has Wakanda not dominated the whole world at this point? I guess it's just like because of their culture and stuff like that. But, I have to agree. Black Panther. So you're putting Black Panther next?
Yeah, I'm gonna put Black Panther.
All right. I think I'm gonna be in lockstep with you and put Black Pants in the 9th spot.
Oh, so cross out Far From Home.
Far From Home, Black Panther, gone.
And okay. I think what I'm gonna put next. I think honestly, dude, I think I'm gonna put the first Iron Man.
Okay.
Because I never had good memories of the first Iron Man movie. Because the first time I watched it, I was like really scared. Like the first part when he gets like blown up and shit. I was like a little kid. I was also kind of a pussy. So, but like I don't know. I've never been in love with the movie, and I feel like it's a tough. I like the movie. Don't get me wrong, but like from all these other movies that we have left on the list, I think that's where I'm gonna put it.
Yeah. All right. All right. So Iron Man. For me, I think I gotta put oof.
Yeah.
That was juicy.
Yeah.
All right. I think for me, I gotta put it. All right. I'm in between Captain America and the Winter Soldier or Avengers: Age of Ultron. For me. Okay.
Okay.
Avengers: Age of Ultron had a lot that happened. They introduced fucking Wanda and the Quicksilver guy. Also, I thought Ultron was a really fucking cool villain who's voiced by a really cool guy. It was, I forget the actor's name, but it was Robert California from The Office. And it was, I thought it was cool.
Yeah, Ultron's like, Ultron's an movie.
But yeah, I also thought Winter Soldier was kind of an movie. It had some cool like revelations, like fucking Bucky was like a Russian, I guess, sleeper agent and shit, and Captain America's got to go rogue because he's got to help his friend. Also, it's the first movie where Black Panther gets introduced. You know, a lot of other, Black Widow's in it. It just felt like one of those movies where it's like just character building up the world.
Yeah, it feels
for
like
bigger
a medium.
movies.
Yeah, it feels like a medium movie.
Felt like a filler movie. It's so weird to like think of it like that, like a filler movie. Like we should be thinking of that as TV shows, but I think in a literal sense, Winter Soldier is a filler movie.
Yeah, especially when like they're planning out a trilogy already. You know what I mean? So they're like, well, we have to like,
and we have to
have this like movie to like kind of create a buffer because like we don't want the ultimate shit to happen yet.
We
like,
just need more characters.
Yeah,
just saying, like we just need a movie to spawn more characters, and we need to like yeah. So I think for that reason alone, I'm gonna put Winter Soldier in my 9th spot or 10th spot. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, this is a 10th spot. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3. This is 11. All right. So Captain America: Winter Soldier is 11th spot.
You know what I'm gonna put? I think you're gonna hate this take.
Lay it on me.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I do hate that take.
And
Guardians of the Galaxy is a great movie. Explain yourself.
And I love that movie. But I feel like the movie, it's a little lackluster in action. Think about it, right? Movie starts off. They have that big fight with the monster. They return the thing. Rocket steals those anti-lax batteries. And then they get into a huge, space fight where they almost die. Peter's dad saves them.
Yeah.
All
right.
They go into the thing. And then, like...
What's your main gripe, though?
It's just, like, there's not enough action.
Not enough action?
Because, like, really think about it. So they have, like, that first part. Like, the first 30 minutes, action-packed.
Yeah.
Then, like, the second, like... Because it's, like, probably, what? 2.5 hour long movie?
Something like that.
So think about it. Like, the middle, like, hour and a half, it's really just, like, them, like, on the planet. And them, like, kind of figuring out. They have, like, the whole, like, B story with Rocket and Groot and, the guy who's, like, Peter's, like, kidnapper.
Yeah.
And they have, like, that whole side story.
Yondu.
Yeah, Yondu. And you have, like, that whole side story. And it's just, like, it's kind of meh.
I can understand that it's not really... Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, is really, like... The only thing that's essential to the story is the introduction. It's the actual first movie where they introduce the existence of Infinity Stones.
Right.
That guy is talking about the Power Stone and fucking whatever. And actually Thanos shows up in it. So, if you're a fucking Marvel nerd, it's like a super important movie because fucking Thanos is in it for 2 seconds. But other than that, like, yeah. The only reason I personally really like Guardians of the Galaxy is just the style, the soundtrack, all of, like, the funniness, obviously the voice actors, like fucking Bradley Cooper as Rocket, and Chris Pratt's also awesome.
Yeah, Chris Pratt's Star Wars is amazing.
Yeah. I just think it's like a tight movie. Like, you just like the characters. And I just think for those reasons alone, it just makes like a good movie. Is it like the most exciting movie in the world? No. And like, I think obviously there are tons of movies on this list that have it beat in terms of like pure action and excitement.
Yeah.
So
I'm saying Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Oh, you said Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, I meant Volume 2.
Oh, you didn't say Volume 2.
No, that's it.
You said Guardians of the Galaxy.
My bad.
The Volume 2.
Volume 2.
Okay.
Specifically volume 2.
Okay. See, yeah, all right.
And that's what I mean when I say there's not enough action, because like think about it, like middle hour and a half.
Yeah, all right. Now it makes sense. I wasn't really following, but yes.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of action in the beginning, but then they get the fucking, and it's not his stepfather. It's his actual dad. It's Ego. They get to his dad, who is literally, you find out, his entire conscience is embodied with the planet that they're on.
Yeah.
And he's what's called the Celestial, apparently.
Right. Isn't that what Thanos is?
I don't know. And see, that's like such a confusing thing. I think because of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and this brings up a very good point of why it should be low on this list. Chris Pratt, or fucking Star-Lord, should be one of the most OP characters then. Because this guy, Ego, explains to Chris Pratt, like, you're like a Celestial. You can like create matter and shit. And like they're like tossing this like ball of energy around. And they're like making it out to be like this guy is literally. But then they say like, oh, because they killed the planet of Ego, like his powers like disappeared and stuff like that. It's like, oh well, I'm sure they're gonna like try to like bring that back at some point. They're making another Guardians of the Galaxy, but
yeah. So what's number 12
for you? Number 12. I think I'm gonna put Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Fair enough.
It's not a very cohesive movie, I will say. The only reason I like it is because of Robert California. Whatever that actor's name is, I'm sorry. But I just think he's a great voice actor. I think Ultron is like a surprisingly good villain. Like, and I honestly,
interesting villain too.
And also, I think a lot of these problems are like addressed and brought up, and not addressed. A lot of the problems of Age of Ultron are brought up in Civil War. Because, literally the other way around. A lot of the problems that are brought up in Civil War happen because of Age of Ultron. Because there wasn't this, like, big, I guess, in Robert Downey Jr.'s eyes, and fucking Tony Stark's eyes, there wasn't this, like, big planetary defense mechanism to guard the whole world. That was the reason why the first Avengers movie happened. So he creates this AI thing, which happens to become Ultron. I think it's a cool concept. They just add a little too much, I think.
Yeah.
Too fast with like the new mutant characters or whatever.
Yeah, I think for my next pick, I think I'm gonna go Cap 1.
Cap 1? Want to throw it on the list there?
I'm gonna throw it on the list. You want me to read it?
Yeah. If you would.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I totally agree. Cap 1 is like a solid movie. It's like kind of classic in a way. I just like the real good Captain America movies come after, and just because there are 3 of them, I kind of have to put Cap 1 a little low.
Yeah, and I mean Civil War, I think, is the best Captain America movie.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think Civil War is up there for one of the best movies.
So what's your next pick?
Take a little bathroom.
Yeah. We're gonna take a little break. We'll be right back.
Just so you know what it is.
So Lee, what number were we on here?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We were both on the 13th.
Okay.
All right.
What are you gonna throw there?
So
I think you've been leading this discussion the entire way. Oh, cross out Cap 1, by the way.
we both done with Cap 1. All right. Yeah. Good call there. I think at this point I should probably put Iron Man 1.
Okay.
The reason why I had Iron Man so high is I just like the vibes of it. I like, when Iron Man, when Robert Downey Jr., he eats the burger, he comes back, his press conference, and he's just like, yeah, I built this like cool new technology, and like I'm building an Iron Man suit, and like I'm gonna be fucking Iron Man. I just like the whole idea of Iron Man and how it starts.
Yeah, and I think it's a great introduction to the Marvel movies.
And like the whole, like I think the bad guy in Iron Man 1 is a little dumb. Obviously the fact that Iron Man is able to create like what the core thing in his chest in like a cave in fucking Iraq is like a little ridiculous. But I think it's a cool movie. It's like a cool start, and it kicks off the coolest character in Marvel in my opinion, which is Iron Man. Yeah, so Iron Man will be my 13th spot.
I think I'm gonna have to give it to Ultron for the reasons that you said.
Yeah.
So across Iron Man,
A little too much going on in Ultron.
Yeah, and then Iron Man.
Then Iron Man. All right. Now, I'm gonna go with Doctor Strange. I feel like Doctor Strange as a character is really cool, but his standalone movie, in my opinion, has no real stakes to the Marvel universe other than Doctor Strange is now a character that exists.
Yeah, and he has his time stone.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yes.
You know, I'm gonna put Doctor Strange. I think I'm gonna put Doctor Strange
the
there too.
nerds.
I think I'm gonna put Doctor Strange there too.
Doctor Strange. All right.
You can cross that off the list.
I'm gonna have space here.
You just make it like a second.
Yeah, I know. All right. So, I think now I'm gonna put Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1.
Really? You think the first one's better than the second?
No, I haven't put Volume 2 yet.
No, that's what I'm saying. Though you think the first one's better than the second?
No, I think the second one's better than the first one. I'm putting.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I think there's better payoff in the end. I think Yondu, fucking Michael Rooker, being like kind of a good guy in the end is kind of cool. I like where they were going with fucking the whole Celestial thing. Maybe they'll bring it up in the future. I still don't really care about Marvel nowadays, but I think it's better than the first one. I think the soundtrack is just as good. The only thing the first one has going for it is like they introduce the Power Stone and Thanos shows up for 2 seconds. Oh my god. That's it. So yeah. I'm gonna put it over the first one. Also the Groot scene. The Groot intro is cute.
Yeah, the Groot intro is awesome. Mm-hmm. I completely forgot about that.
And I love Mr. Blue Sky.
So. You know, I'm gonna put. You know, I think I'm gonna have to put. I'm gonna have to put Winter Soldier.
But we both put Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
No, I put Volume 2.
Okay. You're gonna put Winter Soldier. Yeah, you haven't put that yet. Yeah. So you have Winter Soldier. Okay.
Yeah, so
Winter Soldier's not bad.
It's not a bad movie, but I really like that movie, and that's why it's higher up on my list. But you know, it's not. I wouldn't say it's up there with the rest of the movies that are on the list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand. All right, getting down to it.
You're getting down to it.
All right. I am just gonna go with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Good movie.
So you can take that off the list.
Yeah. Good movie. Great soundtrack. Good vibes.
And I think I'm gonna put Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can cross that off the list too.
Good. All right. Now I think we're getting to the real meat and potatoes.
I think we're getting to like what, like the top like
getting to the top 5 or 6, I think.
Yeah. So
Okay, so I am gonna put okay.
You know what I'm gonna put?
All right, you can go next. Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
know
put
what to
Avengers, the first one.
Okay. All right.
It's a great movie. It sets up the whole like kind of team dynamic excellently,
Yeah.
and it's great.
Mhm.
But you know, compared to things like Civil War or yeah, you know, that's where I'm gonna put it. That's where I'm gonna put
All right. I'm just thinking about all out of all these movies that I'm looking at, out of what's on the list for me.
it.
First Avengers, Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok, Avengers Endgame, and Spider-Man No Way Home.
Mm.
Thinking of all of those, what I'd least like to watch is Homecoming.
Fair enough.
I just think like it's a movie that you only need to watch a couple times to get the point.
Yeah, it's not
Intro
like-
to Spider-Man. It's a funny movie. The intro is fucking hilarious when he's like using the camera with Happy.
yeah.
I love that intro. Tom Holland, fucking, I think a great actor for Spider-Man. I think he's the best. I think
I think he's the best Spider-Man.
I think you have to give it to him as
I
the
think
best
Tobey
Spider-Man.
might run him.
They're also
a little
different,
bit. I think Toby might run him.
They're just different.
They're just different. Yeah. So Homecoming for the next one.
Homecoming. Yeah.
You know what? I think I'm gonna put Homecoming for my next one.
Okay, so we can get that off the list. All right. So Spider-Man Homecoming, solid movie. I just don't think it's that rewatchable, to be fully honest. All right. Now, I am going to put Captain America Civil War.
Wow, really that low down the list?
It's not that low. I think it's still in my top 5.
Yeah, but like, you know, it's still big though. It's still big. You know, Civil War I think is great because it incorporates a lot of different characters, you know, within the movie. Which can, I mean, it can appear
They
messy
add
at
Ant-Man,
times.
they add Spider-Man.
Black Panther too, right?
He was in Winter Soldier.
Oh, right. You know, I think
Or actually, no, he was in Civil War. That's where they had it. You're right. It was Civil War.
yeah, you know, they add a lot of different characters. It's an interesting plot because like Captain America's kind of on the run, even though he's like a very morally good guy. And you know, I think for my next one, dude, this is tough. I think honestly, I'm really struggling right now between Ragnarok and Endgame.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no.
And
I agree.
I think I'm gonna put Endgame. My heart's telling me Endgame for the next slot.
I'm gonna do the same exact thing.
Because it's a great kind of end to an era type of thing, but it's like not really that much happens. It's a lot of nostalgia based stuff, not a lot of new stuff, you know. So I think that's where I'm gonna put it. But I think for my next spot, we can cross Endgame off the list. I think for my next spot. So what do I have left?
You have Ragnarok, Civil War, No Way Home, and Infinity War.
I think I'm gonna put Ragnarok there.
Okay.
You know, I think it's the thing that I dislike about the Thor series as of recent, is they're trying to base it too much on the comedy aspect. And I think
well, that's
Ragnarok
the
kinda plays
newest Thor. I know it's not on the list, but the newest Thor.
I
feels
think
like a
I think
fucking
Ragnarok did it well.
Saturday Night Live sketch.
Exactly. I think Ragnarok did it well. At times it could be a little bit too much, but I'm putting it. It's still my top. So what's your 5?
Okay. Number 5 on the list. I think I might also have to put Ragnarok.
Fair enough.
It's a good movie. It's funny in good ways and also annoying ways.
Yeah.
So you but the villain is ultimately inconsequential to the whole Marvel storyline.
Yeah.
Hella. I mean, it's just a extra story arc for Thor. So yeah, for Ragnarok. So now we get to the top 3 for both of us.
So I got what? Civil War.
You have Civil War, Infinity War, No Way Home. Yep.
You know what? I'm gonna put Civil War.
Civil War. All right. Give your reasons.
It's a fucking awesome movie. Incorporates a lot of different characters. Interesting storyline. Plays into kind of the rest of the movies really well. Especially like at the beginning of Infinity War, where Tony Stark talks about how him and Cap are on speaking terms. It's an interesting take on the way that it was going to go. I didn't think it would go that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have a lot of bad things to say about it. I just think that Steve is playing too much into trusting his friends.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the only thing I have to say about it. But yeah, you can cross that shit off the list.
All right.
And what are you gonna do for
Civil War is Gonzo?
What do you do?
Number 3, I'm going Spider-Man No Way Home.
Wow. Above Avengers.
Below Avengers. So Spider-Man No Way Home, obviously it's like super fun movie. You get all the fucking Spider-Mans over the course of like the decade who've played the role.
Or like the past 20 years, really.
Is it 20 years? Yeah, so it's been like 20 years. So you got Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland. I thought all of the guys who came back played the role awesome.
Yeah, no, they all have their own like individual personalities. It was great.
It's the only I in my opinion, it's the only thing I like about the multiverse. The only smart concept I feel like they can pull. Other than that, I feel like the whole multiverse concept is just the stupidest thing in Marvel. It allows them to do anything. It allows them to do anything narratively.
Yeah.
Which leaves no guardrails, which, in my opinion, it's hard to invest yourself.
Yeah.
Because, how can you get invested in a storyline where nothing matters?
Yeah.
Every storyline is just a part of, an infinite... And I get it. It's well, that's how real life might be. But it's well, this is a movie. I don't want to be in real life when I'm watching a movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think for my next pick, I'm going to have to do No Way Home.
All right. Fair enough.
So that
is all
that off the list. And I think that just leaves me.
That leaves Infinity War for you.
Yeah.
So your number 1 is Infinity War.
I mean, dude, how can you not?
How can you not?
How can you? It's the perfect just ultimate culmination of a movie. In my opinion. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Huge fight scene. The huge twist at the end.
Yep.
Where the bad guy wins.
I will say, I remember telling this to Pat and Avengers Infinity War has made me feel something in a movie that I've never experienced before, like off the rip, obviously saying it, is it's just defeat in its purest form.
Yeah, because it's like that's like the first time ever.
It was like
in a superhero.
I was in the theater with my mother and sister, just being like, "Holy shit!" Like, what? That was crazy. And just walking out of the theater, just being like, "What?" And just being like, first of all, there's gonna be another one.
Yeah,
which is hype.
Yeah, because they said it at the end, right?
Well, they can't just leave it off with everyone being dead. You know that. Yeah. I mean, I was old enough to know, like these are actors, they have contracts, blah, blah, blah. Like,
But, like, dude, like, I thought, like, Infinity War was a fucking awesome way to end it. So the question is, like, are you going to put Avengers, or are you going to put...
No, I put Infinity War over Avengers.
Easy. Oh, you already put Avengers down?
Yes.
Oh, so I'm talking. Press out.
Yes. So we're all done. We're all done. We're all done.
Infinity War is your top.
Yes.
Your top
Infinity War is my number one.
Dude,
it's not even close in my opinion.
No,
Infinity War is the pinnacle of Marvel.
Yes. Marvel was going up. It hit Infinity War and then it went down slightly, and then now it's really going down. And that's what I think.
I just think in terms of quality. In terms of hype, obviously it was for Endgame. That was after Endgame.
Yeah.
Endgame is like, I'm pretty sure it's the highest grossing movie of all time at this point.
Yeah.
And, I think rightfully so. It was such a big cultural movement. I remember just, like, everyone planning on, like, when to see Endgame. I saw it with basically my entire college swim team.
Yeah.
Like, it was just such a huge thing.
It was a big cultural thing.
And it was, like, a big thing on the internet, too. Like, don't spoil Endgame. Don't spoil Endgame. People were literally getting doxxed for spoiling Endgame. And it was like, yeah, like, everyone was so invested in this, dude. And I think, like, Marvel nowadays, I just feel like a lot of those fans have unfortunately become cringe because they just never want it to end. And Marvel has essentially become like it's like the new Star Wars. Marvel has replaced Star Wars in terms of like the number one thing.
Yeah.
Pop culture.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about superhero movies. That's all the things that get made now. It used to be space movies, and now it's because of Star Wars. Now it's all superhero movies. That's just the thing. That's the cultural trend. Hopefully there will be a new cultural trend because, unfortunately, what Marvel has done to the movie industry is create a precedent where only giant, big blockbusters can be made. And those movies are the only movies that are profitable. It's also because of streaming services and the death of the DVD. Matt Damon actually explains it in a Hot Ones episode where Matt Damon's on Hot Ones. He says that back when the DVD was like popular and a big thing, it was almost like a second release for, the movie. And actors can rely on getting a solid cut of money on the back end when the DVD releases and people go and buy it. But now that doesn't happen. They're put on streaming services, and that money just goes directly to the network or whatever company runs the streaming service. It doesn't go to the actors. So the only actors now that really exist are the ones that are doing the big blockbuster movies,
Interesting.
So it's actually really hard. And Marvel, as good as it was, as fantastic, I guess, as fantastic as a story it was. I mean, it's a fucking superhero story.
Yeah.
There's only so much depth that can really go into it.
Yeah. And now it's kind of
good acting, but now it's just done, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They made a lot of money. But in my opinion, have they left the industry, I guess the movie industry, worse than it is when it started or better? And in my opinion, it's worse.
Yeah.
Because, and I guess it's not really their fault, like their intentions weren't bad, but a lot of the movies now just, I feel like when I'm looking at all the movies that come out, it's like either the sequels of big blockbusters,
Yeah.
or like
remakes
or remakes, or like fucking some big jump into like a new territory, like Uncharted, like a big video game thing, with
Right.
big actors. It just seems like movies are like very dry of creativity now.
Yeah. I agree with you.
And I have to say that's a little bit because of Marvel.
Yeah, because like they just realized like, hey, if you just put like all these like cinematic elements and like make it look really
And
good.
Marvel, I don't think started the trend. I think they just finished it.
I agree.
You know?
Yeah, they just went so over the top and made so much money that it's like, well, we're moving back to real film.
Well, I think
You know what I mean?
for a while now, like the really old time film, like directors, like Martin Scorsese,
Yeah,
Quentin Tarantino, are saying like, ever since like Spielberg, like the generation after him, they're creating movies like theme parks. Like they're not stories.
Yeah,
they're more just like theme park rides.
Yeah.
Like woohoo! You're just watching it and you're like, that was sick.
Yeah.
You're not really like thinking about it. So it's like, oh, okay. And it's like, I totally feel that. I totally felt that with the new Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
I felt like when you go and watch them, like it's so easy to just turn your brain off watching them. Because they say like all these like quick catch lines, like we gotta get to the Falcon, and it's or like quick, like run, or just like zoom zoom, or like pew. It's like
yeah, your brain just turns off.
It's just like it's so retarded. Like that's all you can say, really. It's just so like dumb. You know?
Yeah.
So I mean, hey, again, America is saved because we have officially ranked all of the Marvel movies. At least the ones that we've deemed important.
Yeah, at least the ones that matter. Alright, so this has been Saucecheck for your night, morning, evening.
Good evening, and have a blessed night.
Have a blessed night. All peace out. Deuces.